Hi, everyone. It's Lindsay Mellenburn here for the A to Z BizLink podcast, our quarantine edition. And today we have a special guest, Miss Mary Foote of Pipeline AZ. Mary, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Would you mind just sharing a little bit more about who Pipeline AZ is and some of the initiatives that you're currently working on?
Yeah, absolutely. Pipeline AZ is a skills matching platform. So we connect job seekers with employers, and we also provide some career exploration features as well for people who are unsure about where they want to go or what might be a good fit for them. They can take skills assessments and it'll lead them to different career paths with information about average salaries, companies in the Valley who are hiring for those positions, et cetera.
And I'm sure a question that everyone is so curious about, especially on our quarantine edition of the podcast, how is Pipeline AZ adapting and responding to COVID-19?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been crazy. Like I'm sure everyone else's business, it's really all about how fast are you pivoting. We already, traditionally, we provide matches between job seekers and employers for job fairs, hiring events, so that when they actually get to the event, they're already pre-matched to opportunities, saving time. With COVID, obviously, meeting in person is not something that can be done at this point. So we did move our job fair to a virtual hiring event. The difference being that now it's a period of time. So job seekers come onto the platform, they get matched with a career coach who helps them complete their profile. And then as soon as they're into the system, they can see their job matches immediately and they can apply to employers there. But then employers are proactively through the hiring event, reaching out to them either through the platform or directly through their contact information.
And I'm curious, just based on the conversations that you're having with employers and or job seekers here in the community, what are some trends or things that continue to pop up in those conversations?
Right. Well, right now we have a retail and logistics hiring event that we're doing in partnership with the county, Maricopa County, Arizona at Work office. So retail and logistics, because those are the jobs that we're seeing a lot of right now. Certainly there are other companies hiring as well. One of the veterans virtual hiring event we're doing, U-Haul's involved, General Dynamics. So there are other positions out there. But primarily we're seeing the retail and logistics, lots of temporary positions. So what we're doing to help pivot is making sure that we're making people aware of fast track certification training programs so that they can upskill or reskill during this time if they can't find a job opportunity or are underemployed.
And I know we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but just for the job seeker specifically, I mean, aside from just having a platform to potentially find their next position, what are some other great benefits to getting involved with Pipeline AZ for the job seeker?
Yeah, great question. So I think part of that really is the career exploration feature. So really understanding, especially what we're finding during this time is that it's really making people look hard at their career path. And is this an opportune time to pivot to something that might better align with what they want to do or may provide a more sustainable future for them from a career perspective? So I think being able to look through, identify those careers that might be a good fit, something you can ease into, things that have immediate opportunities for training. There are companies that provide paid training, especially in the construction area. So I think there are opportunities there, and it's incredible to me to see just how many community colleges have been able to shift programming that I wouldn't have thought of to online. So I think there are a lot of opportunities there. And then the other nice thing is once you complete a training, we have this idea of stackable credentials. So if you complete a program, you can immediately see what other additional programs might make sense to get you further down that path of the ideal career for you.
As many companies have had to make some really tough decisions lately with letting go of a number of their employees, there are still some employers here in the community that are still hiring.
Mm-hmm.
So for those that are hiring and are looking to onboard more individuals, how would they go about, getting linked up with Pipeline AZ?
Yeah, absolutely. So they can go to pipelineaz.com or they can go to our COVID-related site, c19az.com. Both have information about virtual hiring events. So the easiest thing to do is just register there. They complete what we call an ideal candidate profile. So certainly there's the traditional job description, and what we do is identify really what are the skills that are most likely aligned with that, so that when we're matching employers to job seekers, it's based on skills and not keywords. The other thing that we offer to employers is, if they prefer, we can certainly post all of their jobs for them. So, if they're busy, they don't have time, they can just send us the job descriptions and we'll work with them to get those posted, and can also push them notifications when we have candidate matches for them.
Got it. Yeah. And I think that's awesome that you guys do offer those kind of
Mhm.
complimentary services. How about speaking to that, are there any costs to get involved with Pipeline AZ?
Yeah, absolutely. There are no costs. It is a free platform. There are unlimited job postings, no cost to job seekers. We are primarily funded by the Maricopa County IDA. We're part of a larger 501c3 called the Partnership for Economic Innovation, which understands that workforce development is essential to overall economic development, health, and well-being of citizens. So because of our community funding, we've been able to operate without charging companies.
It's pretty remarkable. And I'm so thankful to live in a community that does offer a platform like this.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm sure there's going to be some individuals that are like, okay, what if I go to one of your hiring events and I walk away with nothing and they have
Mm-hmm.
no opportunities? What happens then? Is there anything else that you can do to support them?
Yeah, so I think really that's where the career coaches come in hand. So they can message them directly through the platform and say, "Hey, I see you don't have any matches," which is pretty rare. So what we find is that they can help find maybe training that has financial resources available to them, offer them that option. They can also send them notifications when anything comes through that would be show up as an ideal candidate match.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, having the opportunity to connect with a coach, I think, is super impactful.
Mhm.
I'm curious, just because you are such a tremendous resource, are there any other great organizations or platforms out there in the community that you would encourage others to look into?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that, the state has put together Arizona Together. That site has a really great comprehensive list of resources. So, it's not just about jobs, information on how to file for unemployment insurance, where to access childcare. People can also register through the Arizona at Work network, which is the Arizona Jobs Connection, and there's information on that Arizona Together site about that. So really, there are a lot of great resources right now. We're really a public-private model, but the state has really stepped up to try and do as much as they can to inform people about what's available.
And remind me again, what is the date of your upcoming hiring event?
So the current event we have right now for veterans, it started on April 16th and continues through April 30th. The other event that we have, it started on Monday, and it is specifically for retail and logistics positions. However, if job seekers register for that hiring event, the career coach will ask them, are you open to opportunities that may not be in retail and logistics? And we can find you other matches if that makes more sense for you.
For those job seekers that are looking to show up with their A game, how would you encourage them to come prepared for those hiring events?
Yeah, I mean, well, really, the event itself is really just completing that profile, and then employers will reach out. So at that point, it's understanding how to create an effective profile, which our career coaches can help with that. And then once they're contacted for an interview, it's any kind of preparation one would do for an interview. There are resources like career connectors, and I know other organizations that help people with interview prep, kind of giving best practices. I think you've had some programming related to interviewing and creating effective job profiles. So there are a lot of resources out there. Career coaches can help, but we're lucky to have a community that has already made public a lot of those kind of helpful tips.
Yeah. Do you guys have any I guess one thing I'd like to clarify, is this a program that's only offered during COVID-19, or is this something that you'll continue to do once everybody or, everyone's back to being in business?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So pipelineaz.com will always continue to be a resource for identifying opportunities for either jobs or career exploration or educational interests. But really, the c19az.com site really just was there to pivot to meet the immediate needs of COVID. And so part of that was making sure we're highlighting things that would be more relevant to people affected by the virus that have lost employment, which are those positions that we know are hiring right now, understanding the industries and the career paths that are going to take you through COVID, as well as letting people know about what are the fast track programs that you can do over 6 weeks, as opposed to what we did traditionally, which is helping understand kind of the entire life cycle of what their career could look like. Anything from 2-year to 4-year degrees and what that might look like. We still have all of that information, but we're really focused on addressing short-term needs.
And as you're looking to build exposure for this great initiative, how else can other leaders in our community help out?
Yeah, absolutely. They can contact me. We also have a good social media presence. We have communications kits so that if people want to spread it on social media, we're lucky that the governor, Doug Ducey, has been very supportive and has tweeted out information about the hiring events and the site. So really going to the website, understanding it, sharing, reaching out to us directly to learn more about how they can support it. And also, if you have jobs, come on and make sure you're adding those. We do scrape job boards, but it's much more effective if the company is entering them themselves. So that's really what we're looking at. Also, if anybody knows of any training programs, we are actively adding those to the system as well. So anything that can help people add additional skills during this time, that information is helpful. And there's a form on the site to add that information.
Fantastic. So, Mary, one more time, for those individuals that want to further connect with you and Pipeline AZ, what is the best way to go about doing that?
The best way is to go to pipelineaz.com. You can email info@pipelineaz.com. You can check out our COVID site, c19az.com. We cross-reference back and forth between all of those sites. So really, if you hit any one of them, you can get more information about how to get involved and learn more about opportunities in the region.
Great. Mary, thanks so much for taking the time to join us for today's episode of the A to Z BizLink podcast. And we are so excited to have wonderful partners such as you guys helping those individuals during COVID-19 and hopefully, for years to come. So thank you again, Mary. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lindsay. Appreciate it.